Mr. Anand Chulani, peak performance coach, who has coached for more than for all the 500 Fortune companies as well as IPL. Over to you, Anand.
Thank you. Thank you. How you guys doing? Good. I know you had a long day today, so I will make sure you not only get some value from the session, but also really experience it on multiple levels. How many of you have ever been to a talk by any speaker where you have made notes and never used it again in your life? Who's been there? Okay, great. This will not be that. Okay. Who here, like I said, has heard a guy speak or a lady speak for like 5 minutes and gone, please get me out of here? Who's been there? Okay. This will be an experiential event. This will not just be me chatting and talking for hours here. I've got a short session with you guys, but I want to add massive value. And in the area of team strengthening, my experience, just so you know a little bit about me, I know it says on the covers that I was a consultant for Disney. I was a consultant for Disney. That was one of the roles I played. My title is Peak Performance Coach, Strategic Peak Performance Coach. Have any of you heard of a man named Anthony Robbins, Tony Robbins? Okay, so I was Tony's head writer and then considered his protege. And he literally sent me out here to be what he called Tony Robbins of India. So, of course, I've adapted my style and content to suit culturally and connect here. But my work is that. I'm trained in NLP, I'm trained in neuroassociative conditioning, strategic intervention, which is just fancy words to say how to use the unconscious mind to be more effective. And in terms of teams, just so you know my background, I have got the call when an IPL team is down and out. They have lost 11 matches in a row. And they contact me and say, look, we need something here. We need this to be turned around. And with that team specifically, I met them on Tuesday of this week. And yesterday we won our first match, the Pune Warriors. So, thank you. So I will share with you how that process, I've got a model that I use with them. It's the same process. So when I talk about that, I also talk about, I work with businesses. I work with Airtel. I work with Hero MotoCorp. I work with a lot of family businesses here in India, like Vardhaman Polytechs. But I get a call when people say, look, there's a challenge in my business for whatever reason, because maybe it's a succession planning that needs to happen, or maybe I've got a company where everyone's demotivated. Can you help motivate them? Or I get the call when someone says, look, we want to make 780 crores in the next year. How do I get everyone in my organization activated and aligned? I say, great, I'll come in, spend some time. But my work is very simple. I am not here to motivate you. In fact, I don't like that term. People tell them, oh, please motivate my guys, please motivate. Here's the challenge with I heard some of you guys say motivation, motivation, motivation. Everyone in this room is already motivated. You are already motivated. You are already motivated. The question is, what are you motivated towards? My work is not to motivate someone because that's me coming outside in. My work is to go inside out to help support you, to take care of you, to support this team, to activate them. Not motivate, to activate. That's my work. Because when it's activated, I believe in long-term results. A motivational talk will get everyone pumped up for 1 hour, and then everyone forgets it like an hour later. I'm not about that. I'm about really consistent results. If I'm working with the team, like I work with Pune, I don't want to just pump them up in a hotel and they go on the field, they need 10 runs and over, then they freeze. I want to give the people an ability to perform at their best, at their peak, when they need to, consistently, and produce results. Now, why do I say this? Because having worked with, like I said, from Fortune 500 companies to, I've worked with the Serena Williamses, I've worked with Agassiz, I've worked with Tiger Woods. I always want to say, I worked with Tiger Woods before all this stuff happened. I want to make it very clear. I've worked with hostage negotiators, I've worked with a variety of people. But my whole thing, I've got a model, which I'll show you today. Because I believe there are patterns. Patterns that create success, patterns that create peak performance, and patterns that don't. And I'll share the overview of the model today, and then I'll give you one piece of the model today in my content. But before I say that, I want to share one thing with you, which is this. I'm sure you guys have been to multiple events and talks, And again, I believe mastering anything happens on 3 levels. First level is cognitive. Right? That's where you know, right? You understand, you know it, you get it. But the question is, are you doing anything about it? Are you applying it? The second level is emotional. Who here has a child or children? Anyone? Who here has ever been a child? I see people looking at me a bit confused. It's okay. Okay, so I say that to you. Why? Because when you're a child, you have a child, and there's a hot stove or a hot kettle, and you say what? Don't touch the stove or the kettle. What do? They go and touch it. Instantly they have what I call emotional learning. Because in life we do things for one of 2 reasons. To get pleasure or to avoid pain. So now I go, if I touch that, I get pain. Same thing. The third level is physical. That's where something is part of your nervous system. You don't have to think about it, you just do it. How many of you have read a book by Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers? Great book. Right? It talks about the 10,000 hour rule. That's what physical mastery is. Doing repetition, building that mastery so you then have physical mastery, not just cognitively understanding it. My work and my model is to take people from cognitive down into physical. So, what do I mean by that? Well, like I said, a big principle I have is knowledge is not power. So please do me a favor, repeat after me. Knowledge is not power. Oh, come on, knowledge. Knowledge is not power. Action is power. Action is power. Now, again, you've been to many events where you go, like I said, there's moments happen in any event where you go, ooh, that's nice. You go, lovely. Other times you go, that's interesting. Okay? Other times you have an aha moment. I get it, okay. And there's the last thing, which I think is where change happens, which is a that's it moment. Where you go, that's it, I'm going to take action. And my whole thing is to take people from a, ooh, that's nice moment to a that's it. When I'm working with a cricketer, I'm working with a CEO, or whoever I'm working with, my whole thing is, I don't want them just to know this, I want them to take action on this. So I've got to shift them. Sometimes I don't have time. I got to work with a guy like yesterday, 30 minutes before a match, and shift him in his state and all this stuff so he can go on the field and perform. So it's to get that people to that level of mastery. Now, I have a model. Thank you, Priel. I have a model. So my model is very simple. I will take you through my model, but you guys have been sitting for way too long, and you've had a long day, and I know you've had some coffee, but I'll give you something that's even better than coffee. It's an exercise. Who here ever gets stressed? Who ever gets stressed? Who here would like more energy? Okay. Just so you know, I literally just drove in from Pune. I got about 4 hours sleep last night. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink Red Bull. I don't drink any of that stuff. They tried to give us Red Bull at the match yesterday. I said, listen, I am Red Bull. Don't give me. I need the opposite of that. I need something to bring me down. So meditation, whatever it is. So I'll give you something that literally will take your energy up. I'm at a level like 1 right now. I can take it to 100. But I'll show you. It takes 60 seconds. And it's a great way to it's called changing your state. And the first thing you have to change your state is you have to move. So repeat after me. Emotion comes from motion. Emotion comes from motion. Perfect. I'll show you a tool. And by the way, you may see Pune Warriors doing this on the field. But I think it's a great exercise. It's called 10-9-8. So do me a favor, stand up. Now, by the way, if there's a puddle of water in the road, what do most adults do? Most adults? What do? They walk around it, right? And then they do what? They complain about it. What do kids do? They run, they bounce, bam, they splash. So I encourage you for this 45 minutes, an hour we have today, to be in a mindset of splashing. Is that cool? Yeah. Is that cool? Yeah. Okay, great. So the first thing we'll do is this thing called 10-9-8. It's going to be a countdown like this. It'll go right hand, right leg, left leg, and it'll go like this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then legs, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Then 9, 8, 7, 6. 9. You can do it English, Hindi, doesn't matter what language. Cool? And by the way, if you do it like 10, 9, you get nothing. So So use your body, use your voice. This is from Soundproof from what I've heard. And this will not be on Facebook or YouTube, don't worry. Are you guys ready? Okay, good. Shake your body out. And ready? 1, 2, 3, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Louder. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Louder. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2. 4, 3, 2. 4, 3, 2. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 1, 1, 1. Have a seat. How do you feel? These guys saying good, these guys saying tired. I love it. But the great thing about this, I've done this, I tell you people all over the world. And people say, this looks kiddie, I won't use it. But then the CEOs have called me and said, I use it every single day. I do use it with my team. How about that period after lunch at the office? Is the energy high or low? This is a great thing to do then. And by the way, it doesn't just energize people, it synergizes. Because at the end, you notice there was like one, it gets that energy together. So it's a great, great, great tool. Now, let me give you an overview of my model, and then I'll talk about one area there. So if I'm going to get results in any area, if I'm going to get results from my team and have my team perform at their peak, what's the first thing most people look at? First level up there, what do they look at? What do they do? They take action. Who here uses to-do lists? The worst and most ineffective form of communication and time management, result management. In the days of the caveman and whatever it is, it was like, okay, eat, sleep, right? Check, check, check. In our world today, the demands on our time, the demands on our life, these crazy things called crackberries, right? Those things that are in our life, but the stress that puts on us, the demands in our life cannot handle a to-do list. By the way, who here actually finishes their to-do list every day? Okay. Here's what happens. What happens to the stuff that was on that to-do list that you didn't do? Where does it go? Next day. The list gets what? Shorter or longer? Do you get more and more relaxed and peaceful and enjoying it? Or do you get more and more stressed? Oh, interesting. I think there's a difference between what I call activity and action. When I say action, I mean strategic action. I mean action that's going to actually get you results. To-do lists, not the most effective. I have a tool I can share with you afterwards, we can chat, called RPM. It's not just a time management system, it's a results management system I put into companies. It's a way of thinking. It has cut down time on emails, from what companies have told me, by 40% in companies. How many of you get emails where it literally looks like someone has vomited words on a page? Who's been there? And they over-CC everyone. Okay. This system can clean that up in like a second. It takes the average of 3 to 5 minutes to read an email. This can shrink that time by half. That's what I mean by action. And by the way, when we talk about team building and high-performance culture, if your time is being used efficiently, won't you be more productive? In the way you communicate with each other, isn't that part of productivity? Isn't that part of high performance? Absolutely. So action is the first level. Now, if I have a company or an organization or a team where we're taking the right strategic actions that are getting results, not using to-do lists, right, then I go to the next level, which is what I'll talk about today. Repeat after me, state. State. Now, last year, not this year, I worked with Kings 11 Punjab. And I remember I walked in there after Adam Gilchrist injured his hamstrings, and they won 1 out of 4 matches. And I get in the room, I say, guys, you need to change your state. And the guy stands up and goes, but I'm from Punjab. I said, not that state. Your mental state, your physical state. So when I talk about state today, I mean that's the state I'm going to talk about. How to change your state. Not just your state, but the state of who? Everyone around you. Because you may think, oh, I'm talking about the individual, but you know this, in a team, if one person in a meeting, if one person in an office is in a not great state, can that affect everyone else there in a second? Absolutely. If someone in a meeting is in a high state, can that not affect everyone? I believe it's John was talking about passion, right? Pairing people up who have passion, who have energy, who have that, those. What you're saying there is, let me take someone in a high state and pair them to lift that up. But if you can create a culture where everyone can not only activate their own state, but if they notice the culture is low in state, they can activate that, how effective would that be? That's what I'm going to show you today. That's the tool I'm going to show you today. Now, if my state is great, my team state's great, I'm taking the right actions, but I'm not getting results, I look at the third area. Repeat after me, resources. Now, this is an area I love talking about. HR departments, and I love working with HR departments. In fact, I train HR managers in what I do as trainers so they can continue beyond my work when I come to companies. I'm there for a year usually, and then I give it over to an HR person. But why I say this is important is because HR stands for human resources. But I believe, in my opinion, the ultimate resource is resourcefulness. The ultimate resource is resourcefulness. So to me, when I say HR, that stands for human resourcefulness. And if we can get our employees, our teams to be resourceful, how much more efficient and activated would they be? I always tell people, oh, people say, I can't make money, I can't do this sale, I can't do this. I say, great. What if I told you tomorrow, if you don't do this, I'll take your wife, I'll take your children. Now, some people may be happy, but that's a different story. But what I'm saying is, in that situation, right, they go, oh, I can do it. Why? Because I now can find a resource inside of me. When I say resources, I don't just mean your skills. I don't just mean trainings in operating a machine or trainings in sales. I mean how to handle not just your external resources, but also maximize your internal resources. The resource of courage, the resource of faith, the resource of passion, right? And by the way, if you have what I call an inner critic in your own head, is that going to make you effective or not effective? If you have an inner critic inside of you who stops you from taking action, is that going to make you be effective or not? Not really. So that's a resource. I do something called how to take an inner critic and make them an inner coach. And a lot of people here in this room, I know, I can see in your faces, everyone I meet has a voice in your head, doesn't mean you're crazy, that can stop you sometimes from getting what you want in your life. So resources are so important. Now, what I mean by that is, again, why this is important is because you can look at this model and go, why is this team or why is this individual not getting the result? Are they taking actions? Check. Are they in the right state? Check. Resources. Okay, maybe I need to give them a certain type of training, specialty of training to improve them. Okay, I've done that, but they're still not getting the result. Then I look above it, and what's the area above that, guys? Repeat after me, beliefs. Beliefs control everything. Beliefs control everything. You can have all the resources in the world. You can have gone to all the trainings in the world. But if you do not believe you are capable of the position the company has entrusted you to do, will you be effective? If you do not believe you are capable of standing in front of an audience and giving a presentation, will you be effective? No. If you believe you have no time, will you be effective? Who here thinks they have no time? Please be honest. Okay, how many hours in a day do you have, sir? 24. How many hours in a day does Tiger Woods have? How many hours a day does Shah Rukh Khan have? Okay, so my last question is this. With the grace of God, I think we were all born on this planet for whatever reason with not equal opportunities or resources, whatever, financially or whatever it is for us. But the one thing we were all given that was equal was 24 hours in a day. So when people say they don't have time, that's a belief that stops them from then maximizing their time. And when I talk about state later, what I mean by that is time is emotion. How many of you have seen a movie where time just went like that? Who's been there? or been to a concert or some kind of experience that was positive? And how many of you been somewhere where time was really taking a long time? Who's been there? When you're in that positive state, time goes. When you're in a negative state, time is slow. Time equals emotion. Now, beliefs. And by the way, people can have different levels of beliefs. People can have what I call limiting beliefs. Like, I'm not capable of something, I can't do this, I'm only an IT person, I can't be a leadership person, or whatever those beliefs are. Or they can believe, you know what, that department is the reason why we are not getting the results. It's a limiting belief. Or they do what? They blame. Limiting belief. So there's so many types of limiting beliefs, but there are also what I call conflicting beliefs. Because I can believe on the one level, I can be successful, I can do it. But inside of me, a little voice goes, no, you can't. What's going to happen then? You'll have one step forward and two steps back. And I've seen that in teams. I literally went to a team where the CEO told me, listen, the target is 780 crores. The guys have got to get it next year. I said, no problem, I'll help them. I walked in there. One of the first things I said about the first hour is, here's the target being told to you by your CEO. And right now, who here truly believes you can achieve it in the next year? Because if you do not believe it, do not even nod your head. Because if you're doing it to please him, or you're doing it to make him happy because you think that's what he wants, you won't get the result. Because if you don't believe it, you'll stop yourself from getting the result. Now, you know your business better than me. Maybe it is possible, maybe it isn't possible. You'll know that. You need to do a gut check yourself. But if it is possible, you need to believe it's possible. And if it's not, come back right now and say, you know what, let's set this target. But if you just nod your head, but inside you don't believe it, you're killing yourself. You got to believe it to achieve it. Most people, by the way, think, what's that phrase? I need to what? I need to see it, right? What is the phrase? I need to see it to rubbish. You don't need to see it to believe it. You need to believe it to see it. You need to believe it to see it. Anything you've achieved in your life started with a thought inside your head. Started with an idea. Started with something in your internal world that you took outside and made it external. When I worked at Pune, first thing I told them was, guys, you've lost, they knew it, 11 matches. Can you imagine the confidence of a team that had lost 11 matches in a row? 11. 9 from last season and 2 this season. High or low? And you got a team with a guy like Yuvraj Singh, Ross Taylor. I mean, those kind of Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, that level of talent, Ashok Dinda. But still, they're not able to perform because of beliefs. So I did a process with them to get that part of them activated. So they actually could see it as possible. And they went out yesterday and they believed it, and yesterday they saw it. But they had to believe it first. Now, underneath that, if I believe it, if I have good beliefs, if I have right resources, right state, right actions, but I'm still not getting the result, repeat after me, values and standards. Values and standards. Now, values are one of the most important things in life. It's what you truly value. It's what you think is important in this world. Now, why is this important? Who here wants to make an insane amount of money? Who wants to make a lot of money? Okay, who wants to make money? No, you don't. Do you really want a colored paper that doesn't have the best smell? Is that what you really want? No. You don't want lots of colored paper. You want the value associated with this. It could be success. It could be happiness. It could be security. It could be love. It could be whatever it is, freedom, whatever it is for you. Each of you is different. Each of you wants this for a different value, a different reason. Why is that important? Because if I'm trying to motivate a guy who I'm in my organization, I need to know what he values. Not what I value, but what he values. Once I know what he values, it's not a question necessarily of giving him more money. He may value family. And if I give him an hour or 2 hours extra a week in terms of spending time with his kids, that may be a way to activate him more effectively. But you need to know. And by the way, if a person is in a position that's against their values, they'll have a real challenge. If I value freedom, but my job puts me in a chair all day where I never get up and I never move anywhere, you think I'll be happy? You think I'll be happy? No. So I need to know a person's values. Again, for people who have kids, you should know this. Who here has a child where you're like, hey, you need to study, and the child's like, I want to go out, I want to meet my friends and chill out. Who has kids like that? Okay, hear me. Here's the thing. With kids, by the way, I've worked with over 50,000 kids. I've got a foundation for children. I want to go into 6,000 schools in India over the next 3 years, teaching leadership. But why I say this is very important. With kids, if you're speaking to them, you're speaking to them through what? Your value. Maybe you value success, and you're speaking through that language of success. But maybe the child values freedom. We're speaking two different languages. So I got to speak in their language. So I've got to help them understand by doing their homework how much more freedom they will get. Now it connects for them to do this activity will give them more of, not my value, whose value? Whose value? Their value. That's the importance of value. And by the way, when you evaluate anything, you are looking something through your own values. I speak at an organization called YPO, Young Presidents Organization. I just did a retreat with about 10 CEOs. Amazing event. All these guys in the room, I did a values process with them, came out of there and suddenly realized they'd set their life to go on one path to achieve this in their life, but their values were completely here. And they would never actually achieve their values in their life. I met a man who made $450 million in one day and was depressed. One day. Why do I say this? Because if you're going to create a high-performance culture, you better know your values. You better know your values, better make sure there are no conflicts in your own values, which I can talk to you later, and you better know the values of your employees. Now, under the values is the next thing called standards. To me, in today's world, if I hold myself by a good standard, what results will I get in my organization? What will I get? If we hold ourselves by a good standard, what results will I get? Come on. Tell me. What will I get? What do you say? Positive. I'll get poor results. 10 years ago, I would have got good results. But today's market, competition, challenges, trust me, if you are good at anything in your life today, you will get poor results. I meet people all the time who say, I'm a good boss, but I have a high attrition rate. I say, that's why. You're only good. I'm a good father, but my son is doing this and this and this. I say, here's your challenge. You're just good. Good will not get it done today. Good will get poor results. You have to go for a level higher, what I call the level standard called excellent. When you hold yourself by an excellent standard today, what results do you get? Quickly. Good results, right? And if you hold yourself by outstanding standards, what results do you get? Excellent results. A big way to shift an organization or a culture in an organization is to shift the standards. The two biggest things I do when I do what I call organizational turnaround is two things: beliefs and standards. You shift the beliefs in an organization and you shift the standards, you can turn an organization around like that. You can turn a team around like that. Standards are so key. Now, and you know this, in the Olympics, who watched the Olympics here? Who watched the Olympics? Okay. The guy or the girl who gets the first place, what do they get? What do they win? Gold. They get one more thing. They get, for the rest of their life, to tell the story of how they came first. And they get, basically, everyone knows them for the rest of their life. I met a guy who won a gold award 50 years ago, a gold medal. He walks into a ground, everyone stands up and cheers for him. He was outstanding 50 years ago, and everyone goes nuts. What does the person who came second get? What do they get? Come on. What do they get? They get silver, but they get something else. They get to tell the story of how they almost came first. Right? Now, what is the person who came third? What do they get? Bronze. What do they get? Bronze. Right? Now, what do they get? They get one more thing. They get to tell the story of how they almost came second. What does the amazing human being who came fourth get? Nothing. They get one line in a history book saying they were present. That they also competed. That's it. And you know this in 100 meters. What is the difference in distance between the guy who comes first and fourth? This much sometimes. This much. The person everyone remembers for 50 years and no one. That's the value of standards. Now, quickly, I work with, how many of you heard of a lady called Mary Combe? I spent a little bit of time with her last year before the Olympics. Amazing woman. Now, hasn't she stood out? Out of all the bronze medalists, hasn't she stood out? Now, here's the interesting about our country. I love our country. I'm passionate about our country. I want to help our country not just be, not just good at cricket, but every sport. And here's the thing. Here's the challenge. We celebrate bronze. We go, oh my God, we got a bronze. Yes. Now that's great. But you know what? What if we raise our standards? I've got nothing against people who came bronze. Maybe next time they'll be gold. But if we say bronze is our gold, what standards do we have for ourselves? And Mary Combe, to me, the reason why she stands out, she may have got a bronze, but in other areas of her life, her courage, her ability as a wife, a mother, all these other areas, she's outstanding. And so she stood out of that crowd. Repeat after me. Outstanding. 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 When I go to an organization, I help them define what I call gold, silver, and bronze medal employees and teams. And I help them create a culture of gold medalists. Now, if I'm doing that, and I'm still not getting a result, what's underneath that? Needs. There are something called 6 human needs, which again I don't have time to go into today, but if you could meet the needs of your people, and this is not Maslow's needs, it's a different type of needs, but if you can meet the needs of your people, trust me, you have not just what I call good customers, you have raving fans. Who here is a fan of a product, a company called Apple? Who's a fan of IBM? One guy. Great. Okay, good. So do me a favor. Make a sound, an emotional sound, when I say the word IBM. Okay, so whatever it's yay or whatever. So IBM. Yeah. IBM. Yeah. Apple. Yeah. Ooh, could you see a difference? Apple customers are raving fans. IBM are just good customers. It comes down to needs. And by the way, I was a consultant for Apple. I spent some time with Apple. Outstanding organization. Now, underneath that is what? Mission. All of you are in this room today for one of 3 reasons. People in your organization who are underneath you are in that room every day for one of 3 reasons. Life, they're either coming to this thing they do from 9 to 6 or 9 to 7, as you were mentioning earlier. What do they call it? A what? What do they call it? Work. But here's what I call it. One of 3 things. Please hear me. It's either A, a job. If it's a job, it's a paycheck. It's money. That's it. They'll leave at 6. They're out. They're done. Or, repeat after me, career. Where they go, I could grow. I could be this, vice president, that. They see growth and opportunity in the organization. The third area is on the board. What is it? 1, 2, 3? Mission. Repeat after me. Mission. Mission. That's when it's connected to a higher purpose. That's when that level of passion, that level of fulfillment. Success without fulfillment is failure. When you have that level of fulfillment in something, it goes higher. For me, this is not a job. I'm very blessed. I'm not here today for a paycheck, though I'd like to get paid. That'd be nice. I'm not here for my career. I'm here because I believe the universe, whatever you want to call it, up there, a higher force, has put me on this planet. And I'm committed to doing every day I'm not serving people, supporting people, is a day I'm wasting on this planet. It's a mission. And knowing people's missions is so important because if a person's mission is to take care of the planet and they believe in the planet, but they work for a company that dumps toxic waste into water, will they stay at the company? Will they? Because it goes against what? That person's mission. Mission is one of the highest things in the world. And by the way, someone mentioned earlier about skills and talents earlier. I wanted to make one comment on this. And I don't have time to go into the content, but I can talk to you afterwards informally. I believe each of you in this room have 3 things. Please repeat after me. Skills. These are things you put on a freaking resume or a CV. I am good at listening. Organization, whatever it is, right? Detail orientated, right? Those are your skills. Then we have something called talents. Right? That's the things we master. We spend 10,000 hours, we master that. And the third area, I think you mentioned this thing earlier, the third area is one more distinction. Repeat after me, gifts. Gifts. Each of you have been born with, I believe, a gift. Something inherent. It's been with you since a child. It's part of who you are. It's part of that connection. And I believe that if you can activate your gift, activate your talent, and use your skills, you have a fulfilling life. If you want to know more about this, I've got a TED Talk. Priya, my assistant, can share that with you. I just did a TED Talk here in Juhu exactly on that. The topic was, you have a gift. Final level is identity. Repeat after me, identity. Identity is one of the most important things. Let me pick some in the room. Okay. Sir, how would you describe yourself as a person? Yeah.
My identity is
Yeah, no, just what would you say? I'm a good person. I'm kind-hearted. How would you describe yourself?
I think I'm a good person.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Did you see the look on his face? Now, right now, he's smiling. He's smiling at me, but inside he goes, I'll kill you. I can see that look on his face, that tension in his face. But here's the thing. I do think you're a good person, okay? I think you're a good person. But I want to make a point, which is this. You have a perception of who you are. I just challenge that. The biggest and strongest force on the universe is who we think we are. As an individual, as a team, as an organization. And that can either limit us or expand us. If we think we're only capable of X amount, like an air condition, we'll hit a certain target and we'll drop to our limits. We drop to what we think we can do. It's so important to have an empowering identity. Now, I use this model, I'll use a quick overview to look at organizations. When I do an organizational turnaround, I go and then look at an organization and help them understand where are the challenges. Because once I know where the challenges are, I then know how to give them a solution. Because I don't believe, someone mentioned earlier, in a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. It's customized solutions. So right now, and I don't know if any of you work for this company, but if you do, please call me. This company called Kingfisher. Where are Kingfisher's challenges? Do they have challenges at the level of identity? Do they? The brand Kingfisher, if I mention Kingfisher right now, right, wouldn't it create an emotion in you of some nature? They have a challenge at the level of identity. They also have challenges where? At the level of mission. Why? Because, by the way, forget people being there for a job. Some people don't even have jobs. Then, underneath that, needs. How many people in the organization do you think have their need of comfort or certainty met? High or low? Low. If I have low needs being met here, what happens to my standards in terms of customer service? High or low? If my needs are not being met, by the way, if there's a break in one area of my pyramid, everything in front of it gets infected. So, there's standards, low. Beliefs. Are there some limiting beliefs there? Absolutely. Are they making the most use of their resources? Maybe not. Are people there in the right state? Absolutely not. Actions, let's see what actions they're taking. But they have breaks at every layer of that pyramid, and so they need a strategic intervention at each layer. Same thing, like I went to a company, I said, listen, it's a family-run business. I said, here's your challenge. Identity. Right now, no one knows who's running the business. Is it the father or is it the son? No one knows who's really running this. You have a challenge. There are guys in the organization who are part of it because they started years ago. There are other guys who are coming in. There's a generation gap. Where's the real identity? There are people there who are there for a job, some there for a mission. You have people of mixed backgrounds. You need people of everyone there for a mission, or at least a career. Needs. Your senior management need to feel like they're contributing. Your middle management don't feel significant enough. And your lower guys have no comfort and certainty. So I showed them the needs that are not being met by different levels. Underneath that, values and standards. I said, here's the thing. You value family, but you as a CEO sometimes come in late for work. Now what does that mean? The guy working underneath you has to stay what? Longer or shorter? Longer. If he's now going home to his kids later, what does that mean for him? Is he getting his value? And by the way, if his number one value is family, will he be happy long term? Absolutely not. Giving people their paychecks late, right? That can affect their values. They value their family, they value freedom, and they value security. Beliefs, so limiting beliefs. I interviewed the senior management. Every guy came into the room with this thing to me. They said, listen, we have no resources, we have no raw materials and no money. No raw materials, no money. No raw materials, no money. Raw materials, no money. Raw materials, no money. After the 10th guy said, let me guess. You have no raw materials and no money. And they go, how did you know? I said, because you guys keep saying it. And if I keep believing that, will I ever have it? Will I? Never. So I got to change my beliefs, and then I can find opportunities and resources to then change that. So that's an example of how to use the pyramid. Now, just want to give you an overview of it in terms of how to create high-performance culture. Today, I'm going to focus on one area, and it's the area called state. Repeat after me, state. Repeat after me, state. So do me a favor right now. By the way, if you want leadership, you have to lead whose ship first? Whose ship are you going to lead first? If you're going to actually be the embodiment of leadership, who do you need to lead first? Who? You. You need to lead your ship before you can lead anyone else's ships. Right? So I'll teach you how to change your ship, which is your state. Very simple. There are 3 ways. So again, I said at the bottom, what's the first way? What's the first way? Physiology, right? Repeat after me, physiology. Oh, come on, physiology. Perfect. So move. 10, 9, 8, whatever it is. If you're sitting at your desk all day like this, get up and move. I met a CEO who goes, I'm really depressed, I'm really sad. I said, do this. He goes, I feel really good. I said, thanks, now pay me. Right? But I said, you've changed your state. You can feel good now. Now, what's the next area? Repeat after me, focus. Do me a favor right now, stand up for a second. You guys are shake your body out. Repeat after me, it's called the whoa clap. Let's go like this. Whoa, 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 and then yes, okay? 1, 2, 3. Whoa, 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 yes. One more time. Whoa, 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 yes. One more time. Whoa, 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 yes. Have a seat. Good. I want to make sure your state is good. Okay, good. Now, focus. Repeat after me. Where focus goes, energy flows. Where focus goes, energy flows. If I'm in my car and I say to myself, I'm not going to hit the wall, not going to hit the wall, not going to hit the wall, what am I going to hit? The wall. Who's ever been in a situation where someone says to you, go in the kitchen and get the salt? And you go, I can't find the salt. There's no salt here. I can't find the salt. There's no salt here. And the person comes right next to you and says, here it is. Who's been there? Who's married to someone like that? Okay. Okay. You know what I mean? How many times have people in your organization, guys underneath you, come to you with a problem and it's right in front of them, but they can't see it? Who's been there? Right? Sometimes they're not resourceful to actually see it's right there, but they're so focused on not seeing it, they don't what? See it. Where focus goes, your energy flows. Now, what controls our focus? Our thoughts. What controls our thoughts? 2 things. Repeat after me. Questions. Questions. Answers. Who does a Google search? Who's ever done a Google search? That's what your brain is doing every second right now. And your unconscious mind is doing a Google search every second. It's asking a question and getting an answer. The question could be, how long do we have left? Or when do I get to go to the bathroom? Right? And your brain will give you an answer, in a long time. Right? Whatever it is. Right? Where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you need to go to the bathroom, please go before you flow. Okay, good. Okay. So, what I mean that is very simple. What controls our questions are the type of questions we ask ourselves continuously. Who here ever gets stressed? Who here ever asks a question such as this? Why did this happen to me? Why is this person always doing this? Why? Who asks why questions? If you ask why questions, what type of answers will you get? Good ones or great ones? Or not great ones? Why is that person always doing this to me? I don't know, because you're Punjabi. I'm Sindhi, so we love Punjabi. It's cool. Right? But that thing, something's going to give you an answer. So the question you ask yourself is important. By the way, why is this so important? Because in an organization, I look at an organization and I just ask one question. What is the focus of the organization? I.e., what is the continuous question the organization is asking and the individuals are asking in a team or an organization? You guys have all heard of a guy called Tiger Woods, right? So I work with Tiger, again, before all that stuff happened. And when I work with Tiger, here's the question. What do you think Tiger Woods asks himself every day? There's one question he asks himself. What do you think it is? Anyone? What do you think Tiger... What does he ask himself every day? What do you think? What's my focus today? Okay, maybe. What else? Huh? Am I the best? If you ask the question, am I the best? What is his brain giving the answer? It could be what? Yes, or it could be what? And by the way, implicit in the question, isn't there a level of what? Doubt? Absolutely. So if you ask that question, are you going to get an empowered answer or a disempowered answer? Disempowered. Here's the question Tiger used to ask himself. I don't know if he does it anymore. Here's the question. How can I be the greatest player to have ever played the game? Say it one more time. How do I be the greatest player to have ever played the game? That's a different question to how do I make money? Or how do I become number one? Or how do I improve? Which are good questions. But he asked an outstanding question, and that's why he would be able to be Tiger Woods. Why is this in relation to you? What is the question you ask yourself when you go into work every day? How can I empower my team? How can I make a level of profit? How can I make a level of profit and empower my team? And have fun? What is the question you're asking yourself every day? Where is your focus going? And by the way, if you have a question, that's great. If it's an empowering question, great. But what are the questions your team are asking of themselves every day? Because where focus goes, energy flows. If you're flowing here and they're flowing there, you have a challenge. So right now, quickly write down, for you, what's one empowering question you could ask yourself in terms of how you handle your team or how you handle yourself in your work and your organization? How can I learn every day? How can I make this an environment, one of fun and stimulation? How can I make sure no matter what, we grow every day in terms of results and in terms of enjoyment? Whatever it is, you come up with the answer yourself. How do we make sure we're not just the number one company, but we stay number one for 5 years? What is the question? Where focus goes, energy flows. Not yet. Breathe. Okay, so what is that question for you? Who's finished? Just want to just shout it out. I'll give you some coaching and some feedback to support. Yes, sir.
How much feel great I bring in the team?
How much feel great do I bring in the team? Fantastic question. Great question. So how much feel great do I bring in the team? Can I make some coaching with some feedback? Instead of how much feel great am I bringing to the team is your question, right? Maybe you just tweak that slightly. Instead of how much feedback am I bringing, focus on how much feel great can I bring every day. So focus you on taking action every day. So your brain, you can ask that question at night, sleep, and your brain will give you answers in the morning. Wake up in the morning, write it down, free associate, and find new ways to get that feel great thing. That's a fantastic question. Give him a big round of applause, please. Great focus. And by the way, if everyone in your team has that, everyone really will be feeling great. Any other questions? Yes?
How can I ensure that my company continues to be the best provider?
Fantastic. How can I ensure that my company continues to be the best provider in the market? Excellent. What's great about that question? She already believes it. There's an implicit belief in that is empowering. So she's connected. If I looked at her right now, she's connected to the level of belief. So I know this question isn't this thing, how do I make sure this? But she genuinely believes it. And she's given herself one of her needs called certainty. Because she says, how do I ensure? Make it happen for sure, for certainty. Excellent question. Great applause. One more question. Yes? Could get a microphone so I can hear the back, sorry. Thank you.
So how can I be the best coach ever?
Best coach.
Yes.
Are you a coach in terms of what context?
Team
coaching.
Oh, team coaching, fantastic. Okay, great. How can I be the best coach ever? That's a great question. What I would probably just give you some feedback on as a fellow coach is this, is best coach ever can mean a lot of things. Be more specific. Like for me, I'm very specific. It's peak performance and leadership. So for me, it's about mastering peak performance. How do you get an individual to maximize their performance or a team to maximize that? And what did you say? Best coach, what was that last line? Ever? Ever in what? Ever in like 5 days or ever in the history of India? As ever in history of... Be specific. Be specific for what that is for you. So for example, for me, a question I ask myself every day is how can I ensure, I love your word, how can I ensure that I am the greatest and most, not greatest, the most effective coach, peak performance coach in Asia? No matter what, I am the number one guy. I'm the leader called upon by leaders. I am Mr. Shift. That's my question. That's my focus every day. Bam. So just if you tweak that a little bit, it'll get you more specific to your goal. Give him a big round of applause. Okay, the third area is on the triangle. What's the third area? Repeat after me. Language. Who here ever gets stressed? Put your hand up again, please. Who does this? Hi, nice to meet you. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. Hi. I'm stressed. Here's my business card. I'm stressed. Okay, good. Let's have lunch. I'm stressed. Okay, good. Facebook me. I'm stressed. Okay, good. Whoever walks around saying, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, even in your own head, who does that? Be honest. Okay. If you do that, are you going to be stressed? I have no time, I have no time, I have no time. What are you going to feel? No time. The language you say affects everything. If I say the word problem, how do you feel? Not great. If I say the word challenge, who likes a challenge here? Who likes a challenge? By the way, as I said that, about 3/4 of the room did this. In changing their what? Their physiology, just by the language I used. Who here likes surprises? No, you don't. You like the surprises you want. The surprises you don't want, you call problems. But here's the great thing. Language can control everything. I always tell people, by the way, if I mention one word, tell me how you feel. The word is reviews. Who likes reviews? Who likes being part of reviews? Who likes giving reviews? Okay, not to your wife or spouse or anything. Okay, not that context. Okay. By the way, a person goes in for a review. What do they usually think? This is a review of what? Performance, i.e. stuff that I what? Didn't do great in or improve in or whatever it is. Do you go in the room feeling, yes, a review? Or you go, oh, God, I got a review. Right? So I just said doing one thing, and trust me, it's helped organizations. I just said, do me fair. Don't ever call it a review. Call it a preview. Right? I can see you guys smiling. Right? Who likes previews in movies? Right? This could be coming out. Here's what preview suggests: a future. Review takes you into where? The past. I'm not saying the past is not something we can learn from, but by the way, what makes a person get out of bed in the morning is not their past, it's their future. So language can affect that. Now, very quickly, I'll do one little thing with you before we go, which is the most important. If you're going to create high performance in your teams and your organizations, you have to create high performance in you. So I will teach you how to put yourself in the most effective state. Who here would like to access their most effective state every day? Okay, even the camera guy's like, yeah, me too. Okay, good. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I want you to think about right now. Think about in your life. Sit up. Think about in your life. Sit up, sit up. Just sit up. Okay? Think about in your life a time when you were most effective. You took a decision in business or even at home, or you made a deal, or you made anything in your life where you felt proud, or you felt like I did something I really felt like I achieved. It could even be when you were young. Whatever it was for you. And you are young, but it's okay. But right, any moment in your life where you felt like I achieved something, I felt proud, I performed well. Think about that moment. Now, write down. It's very important you write down in your books, or in your paper, a very simple thing. What's the mic? Oh, think great. So just draw a triangle like this, and write down here. What was your body like? I was standing. Okay. What was your focus? Meaning, what the question you were saying? How can I do this? And what was the language you were saying to yourself? I have to do this. Whatever it was. So write down your language, write down what you were focusing on, and write down what your body language was. If you say, I don't know this, I don't know this, I don't know this, use different language. Your body knows the thing. Your unconscious mind knows. Write it down right now. Music, please. Okay. So write it down. Who here is finished? Okay, great. Please, can you share? Do you mind standing up and just sharing? What's your name? Oh, Sipti. Sipti. Yes, tell me, Sipti. You were sitting upright? Thank you so much. You were sitting upright?
And my focus was how do I achieve it?
How do I achieve it? Okay.
And my language was this must be done.
This must be done. By the way, how many of you could see a shift in her body language when she said this must be done? Here's what she did. She said, what you did is that, and she goes, this must be done. Who could see that? Who could see that? Right? You can see a shift in her body language. By the way, if you have a language that says this must be done, are the chances of it being done high or low? Give a big applause. Why this is important for you is I was suggesting when you wake up tomorrow morning, get out of bed and say, repeat after me, this must be done. This must be done. You can use the same trigger from before and now. Give a big applause. Anyone else? Yes, at the back, one more guy. My friend who has no time but now has time. Great. Tell me.
I just started my own company.
Great.
And when I decided that, I actually jumped from my seat and I said, whom can I partner with?
Fantastic.
And what I said was, let's change the world of work.
Give him a big round of applause. That's outstanding. Some of you going right now going, entrepreneur. Okay. But that's cool. That's great. And by the way, to be an entrepreneur, don't you have to have that kind of energy? Don't you have to have that mindset of jumping out of your seat, saying, let's change the world, let's change work, that kind of mindset? If you have anything less than that, you're in challenge. But that mindset, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs and help them, that's a great mindset to be in. Give them a big applause. And I would suggest you jump out of your seat or jump out of your bed every day. So now, very quick, nothing to do with you. This is great. But you're seeing the triggers. And by whatever you wrote down, whatever the language was, you can wake up tomorrow morning and say that same thing, and your body will literally go into the same place it was when you said that to yourself, like she did. So right now, here's the little test. Remember a time in your life when you were not as effective, when you were not as proud of yourself, when you knew you could have done better. Everyone has that day. Sachin Tendulkar gets a duck. Things happen. Everyone has those moments we're not at our best. So write it down right now in that time. And more importantly, write down what was your body language like that day? What were you focusing on that day? And what was the language you were saying to yourself that day? Okay? Write it down. If you can't remember, just trust your unconscious mind. It'll come. It's okay. We'll get there. Just remember it. Remember, and then just watch what your body does. Okay? Okay. Good. Okay, write it down, write it down. Okay, who here is finished? Okay. Who is finished? Yes. Get a microphone over here. What's your name, sir? You mind standing up? And by the way, when someone stands up, I want you to watch them. Like you are their friend, like you are their coach. And watch their body language, watch their focus. Don't worry, we're not scrutinizing you. But
So,
it'll be fine. What's your name, sir?
I'm Prasun Kumar.
Prashun Kumar, nice to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
Same here.
Tell me, what was the time, when was the time? Prashun, do you mind coming up over here so people can see you? Do you mind just coming here? It's on, it's already on. Yeah. Let's come here. Please give him a big applause, please. Oh, come on, he's telling you his least effective state. Give him a big applause. Okay, tell me, my friend. So when your least effective state, how's your body language?
So I was sitting sad,
Yes?
and then I had negative thoughts crossing
Yes.
my mind.
What were the thoughts?
That's where focus was going there, even though I was trying to deviate from it consciously.
What were the negative thoughts? Give me a couple of them.
Yeah. I thought I did not deserve this.
I did not deserve this?
Yeah. There were things out of my control.
Yes.
Which led to this,
Yes.
and I think I can do better.
Yeah, okay.
I deserve better. So.
Okay. And then what was and your language was that? The same thing?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
the language.
How many of you can see his physiology right now? Is his physiology up or low? Okay, give us some specifics right now. Priya, do you mind just writing on the board? Thank you. Grab it. Okay, so under physiology in the bottom part of the pyramid, tell him about his physiology. Was his head up or down? Head down. What else? His shoulders were what? Down, slouching. What else? Okay. What else? Huh? Give him more specific coaching. Be more specific. What does that mean? His voice was low. His voice was low. Even in the microphone, his voice was low. What else? His eyes were going down. Eye contact was at a minimum, right? Hesitance, right? Even when he's talking, so even type of flow of talking. So those are just a few things. Now, by the way, how long ago did this thing happen? How many years ago?
That was 5 years.
Can you just see this?
7.
This happened 5 years ago, but the minute he thinks about it, where his body goes, the minute he thinks about it, where his language goes, the minute he thinks about it, where everything goes, that happened 5 years ago, but the body and the unconscious mind remembers it, and it puts him there like that. Now, what's his focus? What was his focus on? Tell me, what was the questions he was asking himself? Why him? I did not deserve this. And so the question he's asking is what? Why me? Right? Why me? Now, no, under here. Why me is here. Why me? Under language, what was the language he was saying? I did not deserve this. What else? No, he started to get positive at the end. Forget that part. Don't you dare smile at my workshop. Okay. Don't be happy. Who said you can be happy? I didn't say you can enjoy yourself. Don't be miserable and sad again. Don't be happy. God. Don't be happy.
Okay.
What is going on here?
I'm already out of it.
Oh. Can you see how quickly, by the way, you can go from this to this? Can you see it? By what? What he just changed right now? He changed what? His language. I'm already out of it, and his head went like that. In how long? A second. You can go from this state to that state in a second. We don't think it's possible, but it can change like that. I tell cricket teams, same thing. You can be down for a second, but you can change your state in a second. Yesterday, you may have noticed the guys, I don't know if you guys watched the match, but compared to the last matches, these guys went around, they were clapping each other, high-fiving. The energy was there more than it ever had been there. I was so important to me to see that on the field, because you can change your state. If a bowler's in a low state, he's going to have a problem or a challenge. Now, I did not deserve this. What else did he say to himself? What other language? I could have done better. What else? There's one more he said. What was the other one? Things are not in my control. Now, here's the great thing. I don't know the situation. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here actually to appreciate you because I honor your courage. It takes a lot of courage to come up here and share this in front of an audience. So first of all, I want to please give him a big round of applause. Courage is honestly. I don't know your situation. I'd love to know if I'd love to support you. It sounds like you're out of it, which is great. But here's the challenge. You are out of it in terms of your willpower. You are out of it in terms of your heart. And you are out of it maybe in terms of your circumstance.
Yep.
But I'm not sure you're fully out of it in terms of your state. I think you are fully out of it, but I think if you have the ability to go there, it means that it's not fully released. So here's the way to get out of it. Here's the way to shift it. We can shift your state. You shifted your state in a second here right now. Here's another way to shift your state. And by the way, I don't know the situation, but I'm going to give you a language and a belief that I think has helped me in my life and has helped people that I've met. Please repeat after me, everyone in this room, this one phrase. Life does not happen to me.
Life does not happen to me.
It happens for me.
It happens for me.
It happens for me.
It happens for me.
Now, you may think that's absolutely ridiculous. I've worked with Palestinian and Israeli suicide bombers. And you may go, my mother being killed, this being killed, that happens for me? Really? But I'll tell you something. Life may not always give you what you want, but it will always give you what you need. I believe that. Maybe I'm crazy, but I've seen that in many contexts where you may not get what you want at the right time, and maybe it puts you through pain to get there, but people are scared of pain. People in the world today, it's the most ridiculous thing in the world, they're scared of pain, and here's what they do. They overeat, they watch the TV, they distract themselves, they drink booze. They stop that, but pain is an action signal. It's an opportunity to create drive, to change things. It's saying, no more, I gotta change this. Who here wants to lose weight? Or be more, okay. Do me a favor. Don't go in the kitchen and go, oh, it's not that bad. Go, that's it. It's done. I met a guy the other day who wants to give up food. I said, what do you want to do? He goes, pakoras. I said, what are you going to do? He goes, I would tell my wife, not make pakoras. Like that. I said, here's what you do. You go home. You look at your wife. You say, wife, sweetheart, let me ask you a question. Do you love me? Hopefully she says yes. Then you say, from now on, no more pakoras. Pakoras are poison. You are killing me every pakora you give me. We take every pakora in the house and we give them to people. Right? Take it out. That's action. That's a decision. Not whatever it is. Otherwise, you're like, I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to eat. Then you see a pakora and you go, oh, pakoras. Right? That's action. So why do I say that? Is because if you come from the mindset, when you have made outside circumstances your control, and you've given your power to them, and you've blamed the universe, you blamed luck. I met with the Pune Warriors. By the way, they were blaming every single person on the planet. They were blaming luck. They were blaming the pitch. They were blaming everyone you can think of, except for who?
Themselves.
And they were blaming themselves, but they weren't owning the truth. There's a difference between blaming and ownership. When you own your own ship, you can change things. So why do I say that? Right now, what I'm going to ask you to do is, let's shift this in a second. Do me a favor. Give me the pencil. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Now, tell me about a time right now in your life where you've been at your most effective. Tell me a time in your life. You've been at your most effective. You've been dominant. You've been effective. You've made things happen. Tell me a time. Okay. Tell me a time in your life where you felt effective. You felt proud of yourself. There must be one time.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Tell me.
I mean, I'm feeling good myself nowadays.
Okay. So tell me a moment or an experience you had that you felt really good. It could be any context, not necessarily work, family, anything.
Sure. For example, when I'm doing robot kit with my son.
You're doing robot kit?
Robot kit, yeah.
Oh, robot kit with your son, okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about that time. What's it like to play robot kit with your son? Is it fun?
Yeah.
How much fun?
It's a lot of.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I get transported. Like when I did not know such things.
Yeah.
And how to see the reaction.
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
Yeah. I mean, I feel elated.
Elated.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And I feel I know about those things really well.
Yes.
In some sense. And,
Yes. And what do you focus on with your son when you're with him? When you're playing with him, what do you focus on?
I focus on showing him, how he can control things, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, like something, he has been demanding for 2 years, now I tell him how actually he can get it done in some way.
Interesting. So, what's your son's name?
Akshat,
Akshat. How old is he?
he's actually 8 years old.
Wow, incredible child. Can you see an interesting thing happening here? What is he teaching his son? How to what? Control things. And what, when he was in his least effective state, what did he believe? I have no what? Control. Interesting. So let me ask you a question.
I didn't think of that connection.
Don't worry, I'm here to support you. Is that an aha moment? He literally, his eyebrows went, aha, right? Absolutely, great. That's a great thing. Now come over here, my friend. Here's the great thing. When you believe that, when you go, I have the control, I'm able to control the external environment, but I have full control over the internal environment. I have control over how I feel, the state I'm in. I may not be able to control the circumstance, but I can control this. What a powerful gift to teach your son. And if you live it, you can teach it. If you own it, you can share it. By the way, tell me about his state. Who saw a difference in his state when he's talking about his son and he's talking about robotics? Who could see a difference? Please give us some feedback. How was his body language? Write it down, please. Okay, what does that mean? Smiling. He was like a kid at one point, right? He was like moving. What else? He was smiling. Oh my God, what a crazy thought. Try be angry and smile at the same time. I'm really angry. Right? Okay, great. What was his focus on? Giving his son, helping his son how to control things. Right? Instead of thinking, so you're empowering your son. The other question was disempowering you. Right? Now what's his language? What was his language? I feel what? What did he say? I felt what? Elated. Now, who remembers what he said, that other language that was negative? What was the first thing he said? I felt what? What was the first thing? Under language. What did he say before? Not in control. And what did he say?
Why did this happen?
And you said, what was the what language you said?
Why did this happen?
Why did this happen? Right? Why did this happen? And now he's focused on what? I'm elated. Okay, watch this. You hold a second. Come over here, please. Are you right-handed or left-handed? Give me your left hand out like this. Okay. Head up. Look over here. I'm use 2 fingers right now. I'm going to push down. I want you to push up. Ready? Push up, push up, push up. Oh, wow. Okay, good. Okay. Shake your body out. Now, I want you to say the same way you said it. What was that negative thing again? Why?
Why did this happen?
Why does this happen? Say that same way. Do not smile, okay? Why does this happen to me? Ready? Why does this happen to me? Say that.
Why did this happen to me?
Resist, resist. I can snap the arm down in 5 seconds. Shake your body out. Okay, now, say, I'm elated.
I'm elated.
Now, think of your son. Say, I'm in control.
I'm in control.
I am in control.
I'm
I'm
in control.
in control.
I'm in control.
I'm elated.
I'm elated.
Resist. I'm elated. I'm elated. I'm elated. I'm pushing like 4 times as hard. I cannot push his arm down. Give him a big round of applause. Take a deep breath in right now. That's it. Repeat after me. I'm elated.
I'm elated.
I'm elated.
I'm elated.
I'm in control.
I'm in control.
I'm in control.
I'm in control.
I am the master.
I'm the master.
Master of my destiny. God bless him. Give him a big round of applause, please. And by the way, if you really believe that you're the master of your destiny, what an amazing gift you'll give your son. Give him a big round of applause, please. Very quickly, we're going to wrap this up in just a few minutes, but I want you to do a quick thing. Right now, you don't, if somebody go, oh yeah, you met him before, you did this thing with him. By the way, I'll test that right now. Stand up, find a partner. Here's what you do. Watch, watch, watch. Ask them, first of all, get their weaker arms. If they're right-handed, get the left arm. Make sure it's like this, like this, not like this. Then 2 fingers only. Guys, I can see you go, I'm going to push it off. No, 2 fingers. 2 fingers here, and you go resist, resist. Then it's normal. Shake it out. Then what's the negative thing you said to yourself? I'm not in control. I'm not this. I can't do this. You'll see the arm get weak. Then shake it out. And then the third thing, what's the positive thing you said when you got the results? I can do it. I must do it. I have to do this. Then you'll see a difference. Okay? Find a partner and go, 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 go. Yeah. Well, I have to have 7:30 meeting with at Trident in Colaba. Okay, I'll wrap this in 2 minutes. Okay. Whoa! Yes. Have a seat. Have a seat for a second. How many of you can see a difference? How many of you can see a difference? Absolutely. By the way, when you say that negative thing, your body loses power for 8 hours. 8 hours, your immune system goes down. So if there are people in your office who are having negative thoughts about whatever, what's that doing to the whole immunity of the office? By the way, have you sometimes noticed how a lot of people get sick at the same time in your office? Right? Viral fever, but it starts from this fever. So why do I say that? And yes, state can be viral. But why do I say that? You can change it how fast? How fast? In a second. Repeat after me, in a second. In a second. Second. Now, I'm going to put you in a state, the final thing, we're going to wrap this up. By the way, has this been useful? Yes. And by the way, you can have the power to change that in a second. I will give you a trigger in about 5 minutes to access your most effective state. You have to do one thing tomorrow morning, and if you do it every day, it'll access your most effective state. I'll give you a neurological trigger in a second. Before I do that, I want to say this great thing. Talk about leadership. A great leader does 3 things. First, they see things as they are, not worse than they are. I don't believe in positive thinking. I don't believe in being like overly positive and going, oh, there are no weeds, there are no weeds, there are no weeds. There are weeds. Right? I'm not seeing it worse than it is. I'm just being truthful. See it as it is. When I work at a company or organization, I get departments to do evaluation. I do inter-department evaluations. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen one department score themselves a 10 in something, and another person in that department give themselves a 5. And I go, where are you really? Let's see things as they are. We can't change anything till you see it as it is. Not worse, as it is. The second step, repeat after me, see things better than it is. What I mean by that is create a vision. Repeat after me, without a vision, people perish. You need a vision to do anything. Right now, do me a favor, close your eyes. I want you to think of a 70-year-old man or a 70-year-old woman. Think of a 70-year-old man, 70-year-old woman, 70-year-old man, 70-year-old woman. Open your eyes. Tell me how that person looked. Anyone? Your dad, okay. Interesting. Anyone else?
Me and
You and your husband, okay. And what did you look like? A little older, okay. Anyone else? How are you moving? How are you walking? How is that person moving or walking? Anyone? A lot of energy? Little energy? Some saying low, some saying lots. Here's what you've just done, by the way. You've just connected to your nervous system who's just told you their vision for you as a 70-year-old man or woman. That is the picture, that is what you are right now moving towards in terms of becoming as a 70-year-old man or 70-year-old woman. If you want to change that vision, change it now. I met a guy the other day. I said, what's your vision of that? He said, Amitabh Bachchan. I said, great. Okay, cool. But you can change that thing. I have met a woman, her name is Sister Madonna, who's the age of 75, who competes in what I call the Ironman every year. The Ironman triathlon. She's competed for 10 years. She's now 85. They call her the Iron Nun. Trust me, there are people who can defy things. I've met a couple who are 102 and was 101, and they have an insane amount of love and passion for each other, even at that age. It is possible. You just have to believe it to what? Believe it to what? Absolutely. So right now, let's get you into the best state possible. By the way, I hope you've enjoyed the little time we've had today. Happy to speak to you more. If I can help your organization, help your team in any way, I can do this analysis. I can talk to you in more detail with other levels of the pyramid. I just had time today at the level of state. But right now, I want to get you in the best state possible. So do me a favor. Stand up. Shake your body out. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Close your eyes. Right now, I want you to, right now, remember a time when you were at your most effective. Remember a time when you were at your best. It doesn't have to be work. It can even be with your kids, or your wife, or your husband. Any situation. Just remember a time when you were absolutely at your best, at your peak. Nothing could stop you. You felt proud of yourself. You felt good. You felt confident. Remember that time. Remember that time. Remember that time. And I want you right now to see what you saw that day. I want you to hear everything you heard that day. I want you to breathe the way you were breathing that day. Breathe now that way that you were breathing. Breathe now the way you were breathing. I want you to stand the way you were standing that day. Stand that way right now. Stand the way right now. Stand the way you stood that day. Stand the way you stood that day. Stand the way you stood that day. Stand that way. Stand that way. Take a deep breath in. If that's who you want to be, if you want to access that state every day, if you want to be at that state every single day in your office, in your life, in every context with your children, with your wife, if that's who you are, if that's the image of who you want to be, if that's the identity you know you're capable of, put your arms in front of you right now. Stretch your arms in front of you, open your hands, and right now grab that image of yourself. Keep your eyes closed. Grab that image, bring it towards you, clench your fists, and say yes. 1, 2, 3. Say yes. Yes. 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 Open your eyes and keep your fists clenched. I have just given you a neurological anchor. If you wake up tomorrow morning and do yes, 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 like a button, your brain will remember that state and instantly access it. You'll instantly find your shoulders go back, your head goes up, you're in that level of focus. That's my present to you. It's been an honor and a privilege serving to you. God bless. You deserve an outstanding life and an outstanding organization. Thank you. Oh, sorry, one more thing I want to quickly show you before I... Oh, quickly. I want to quick show, just a quick example of what I mean by state. Can you just put this on for 1 second? Sorry, Mahesh. Can we do it? If we can't, don't worry about it. How many of you watched the Pune Warriors match last night? How many of you saw on the screen a crazy man fan, that they called, in a crazy kind of state and with crazy kind of energy? Can you put it up, please? Okay. You'll see. Oh, come on. Okay. It's an example of state. Put it up here for you guys.
So what should be your state in this kind of scenario?
Huh?
What should be your state in this kind of scenario?
What's mine?
What should be your state in this kind of a scenario?
Oh, right now we're waiting for this.
Yeah.
Right now my focus is not going to go there. My focus is going to go on you.
No,
because
this is a typical scenario. Like I am going to present something, my computer behaves like that.
Yes.
What should be my
Great question. Well, I'll give you a perfect example. With the Pune Warriors, I had a team session with them, and Yuvraj came in the room, and he came in a little not on time, and he came in the room, and he gave this look of, why the hell do I have to be here? And at that same time, my laptop, I have a Mac, and it wasn't able to connect with the PowerPoint, and the hotel in Pune, it wasn't able to work. Also, I love sound. The sound was able to work. I had no microphone. For some reason, the JW Marriott that day decided to forget everything that they have in terms of AV. I had none of those tools. I had like 40 guys, 30 guys in front of me who, by the way, are a very cynical audience and don't want to sit there and listen to a PowerPoint. I had no PowerPoint, none of that stuff. I had an hour and a half with them, and by the way, they had lost 11 matches in a row. So what did I do? What did I focus on? What did I focus on? Them. Here's what I did. I went to the bathroom. I said, I got to change my state. I went to the bathroom for 5 seconds, put something. I did 10, 9, 8. I got my energy up, and I said, you know what? I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And I said, you know what? Forget that. I'm going to focus on serving their soul. I'm going to focus on serving their soul, and I did what I call my mission statement. And my mission statement is this. Here's my mission statement. The purpose of my life is to own the stage that God has given me, to stand for self-belief, fearlessness, passion, and love. to be the absolute epitome of energy. I am Mr. Energy. I am Mr. Red Bull. Let's go. And I walked in that room, took that stage, and said, boom. And I had these guys in the most amount of crazy kind of place you can imagine. One of the guys in the room, I won't tell you who, was so insane and kind of going with it, they took a flip chart and smashed it. Because the energy of the room was the highest it had ever been. The coach was like, can you please take that energy and put it on the field? I said, no problem. Are we ready? Okay, just show this thing. Can we quick, what's it? Just dim the light for a second? Just dim the light. The light, yeah, just a second. Just so you know, when I talk about state, I'm not just talking about it. Okay. This was just last night, quick thing you may have seen on the screens. It's got no audio, but... Okay, that's it. So thank you guys. God bless you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Anand. We'd like to present a small memento by all the speakers, Mr. John, Mr. Katuria, Mr. Rahul. Mr. Shark, if you could join us. You can all present and take some questions as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, as a final roundup, they all can take some one or two questions, if you have.
Yes.
Yeah, please do make it short and sweet.
Yeah, just one question. This is regarding that somebody mentioned that he doesn't have any time or no time. And you also mentioned that last night you couldn't have sleep. So you cut on your sleep, but you try to attend this today's conference. So what I'm getting out of it is that time is limited, but it is up to us where we want to use that time.
Absolutely.
So we need to cut on some things, and whatever is important for us, we need to put time on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Where focus goes, energy flows. Pretty simple. Any other questions? Perfect.
I was wondering who this person, why is the camera focusing on this person?
Oh, last night.
Who is this person? Is he part of the audience report? I made that comment to a friend of mine.
Actually, I heard someone, so I wasn't even seeing that because I was just so in the game. But someone apparently went on Twitter and tweeted, can we see that image again? And they showed the image again. But what was really cool was the guys in the dugout were there. There was a time when the match was at a low, it was 28-0 or something. And I remember they saw that on screen. And what I was doing was, you won't see it, but I was doing a trigger, which is one of our little signals to the team to get in the right state. And I was doing that, and they saw that on the big screen. And literally everyone went, let's go.
Yeah, thanks a lot, everybody. Well, there's a small photo ops with the Simply Learn team, with the speakers. And please do fill in your feedback forms. And as told to you, your 10 PDUs you will get, please write a mail to us at simplylearn.com. And as well as, you will have your free online courses either on ITIL or PMI. Thank you. PMI. Thank you very much. Can I call upon the Simply Learn team, please, to come?
Even I have learned the coaching from neuroscience background. That's from David Rock.